Computer. Yay. Hello. Hello,
Check my
everybody.
teeth.
I want to introduce you to my awesome friend, Angelique Agee. Yay.
Hello.
You know what? I don't even know. I've known you so long that I don't remember how do you?
I remember. So I don't know the year, but 20 something, 28, 29, 30 years ago, maybe, Karen Chris invites the Bama girls to a meeting in Birmingham
Oh, that's
and with you. And I barely knew Karen, but I didn't know you. I just knew of your name, through Avon. And I pull up and I in the parking lot and I see that big white truck with Avon all over it, and I'm like, wow, that is so cool. So, I mean, that inspired me to just do one little thing that has been consistent all these years is get some car signs.
oh, nice.
And
Nice.
it is I'm busy. Avon is very busy, and people see my car and everywhere I go, every day, every day. Someone just called me from when I was working up in the country. She's like, "Do you remember meeting me in Pine Hill?" And I'm thinking, "Oh my goodness, wow, way up there." But so I thank you for that because I probably would have never done that if I hadn't heard that from you.
Oh, you're very welcome. That was one of my awesome things that just turned into something. I don't talk about the things that didn't work. So I can only talk about
No,
the
that's
good things.
always been consistent. And because I'm not the one, as kind of like outgoing that I am, kind of, sort of, I'm not the one to really approach people.
Right.
I
Oh,
like
me
them to
either.
come to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, my
Yeah.
car signs every day, wherever people
Did
stop
people
me.
do the same thing to you that they do to me? They come up and say, "Do you sell
Do you
Avon?"
sell Avon? And I'm like, yeah.
You just once you want to say, why would you think that, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually driving around right now with no sign.
See, that's scary. I have to have
That
my
is
sign, I
scary.
have to have my oil, I have to
Me
have,
too. Me
deodorant,
too.
everything. I
Yeah.
don't want to drive anyone else's car because of it.
I had a new ride in the middle of selling the house. I don't know if you know all that went on, but I
Yeah.
sold the house in New Hampshire,
I,
and the car reached life expectancy at the same time. Right. So I have
mm,
a Miss Sparkle. I have a little Nissan Rogue. Uh, I thought
it's
that was
beautiful.
pretty apropos that it was called Rogue, all things considered.
With a rogue driver.
Right. Oh, so how many years have you been in now,
This is
Yvonne?
32
Oh,
years.
wow. I'm a little bit more than that, but not much.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
We're the OGs.
Yeah. You know, now that
OGs.
I know that means original gangster, I'm good with that. I didn't know
Hmm.
what that meant. I was afraid it had something to do with, like yesterday, the waitress told me the breakfast that I wanted at Cracker Barrel is called the Old Timers. And I said, well, no.
hmm.
I'm like, well, no.
Did you get a senior citizen discount?
I
Did
no, I told her to keep her 7 cents. I wasn't eligible, so I've resorted to lying.
Oh.
Why not, huh?
Hmm.
You know what? I don't like that we're the old people now.
I
Yeah.
know. I know. And I think I'm like, 32 years, like 32 years. And I don't know that those years have I don't feel like I have to think about my age. Like I think I've been selling Avon longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, I always have to say I was a wee child when I signed up now.
Me
And
too.
even that, I'm lying about all that because I started selling actually in 81, but I didn't know you
Right.
could transfer. So I actually the length of association is longer than they say it is, and I'm willing to let that go on now because I don't want it to be.
Right. We don't show it though. I mean, for real. Like we do not. People are like, when
Well,
did you
you in
start selling
particular,
Avon?
you're a
Well,
whole
you
different
too.
person.
It's been a lot of changing over the years,
Yeah.
just growing and changing and changing and changing, changing how you do things, changing.
And all along the way, I don't know about you, but the one constant thing has been my Avon business.
Right?
Matter of fact, I've rolled through a couple husbands. I built two houses and sold them. I've done a lot. My mom
Yeah,
raised the child. I've done a whole bunch of stuff, but the Avon is actually the only thing that's been consistent.
around, right,
Ah,
right.
is that how you feel about it too? Or
I truly feel about that. I'm grateful. It's a business. It's a company. The world changes, things happen in the world, ups and downs, and you kind of roll with it and adapt. And it's still here. And I'm really proud of that. People say, Avon's still around. I'm like, oh yeah. I say, you see me, right? We still around.
I'm like, of course they are. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. It's
What's
like a
your
baby. It's my baby.
what's your favorite part about being an Avon representative?
I love the freedom. I love the flexibility. I love that I can integrate Avon into everything that I do. And especially since I have passive advertising everywhere, that really helps. And then I earn money. I've made a career out of this. I've made a living. It went through all the times. It went through my sweet husband, bless his heart. He said, I married into a deal. My wife had a cat and she had an Avon business, and I married into to that, and I
Oh,
had to accept that. And so it was a package deal. Like he couldn't have me without the business or the cat. So but basically the fact that I can work it the way I want, I can work it when I want, and I can travel. I love to travel, and I bring it everywhere I go. It's part of me.
I was sorry to hear about your husband because
Oh, I
I know
know.
him from the
I
trip.
know. And he just, I mean, everybody with Avon just gravitated to him. So when I was on a trip alone without him, they said, "Well, where's Lewis?" And I'm like, "Lewis didn't make this one." But or they'd say, I saw your husband at the pool. He's looking for you.
He was always a good sport about the whole thing,
Oh,
really,
and he
because
took good notes too, Lisa. I would give him the notebook, let him take all the notes
oh,
at the meeting, and then 3 years later, I'd find the notes and say, "Wow, you did a good job, baby."
well, that's so awesome. You know what? This is going to sound weird, but I'm so proud that you're working through it because whenever I've had any big stuff happen, whether it's divorces or when my mom died or whatever it was, working helped me heal through it, I think. So I was
Right.
so glad to see you getting after it.
Honey, you know what? It's me and my mother. My aunt, and I have a whole lot. I have a big family in other areas of the country. But I mean, I can work. There's no reason why I can't put a lot of effort into everything right now because it's me.
No, and that's
Uh,
awesome. That is awesome.
yeah,
How
yeah.
many trips do you think you've got, or do you have a list, or you're not keeping a list? Oh,
You
yes,
know,
okay.
I
I
thought
was
of
doing a list. I don't have one.
I started counting. I started counting the trips, and I couldn't keep up. But we've had some amazing trips. Um, I would say it's over 30 if I were to count.
I bet so. Which do you think are, I know you can't narrow it to one because I certainly can't, but what are a couple of your favorites to give everybody a taste, the ones that haven't gone on trips yet?
Oh, well, Hawaii, Hawaii, and we had three. I had 3 times in Hawaii. Those Hawaii is just a beautiful place. Number one, but number two, it was just lots of fun memories. We had so much fun on these trips, and I got to thinking about all the trips and everything that went down on those trips was at the pool. We would, we would
The
always kind
pool
of
or the
the
Tapa bar, right?
or the tapa, right? we would always kind of congregate at the pool, and then it would be kind of interesting to see who made it to the next event.
Right, right. I don't know. Do you remember that time where we were, this is bad. We were doing a shot for the seniors that passed away during the year.
I was young. I was
Oh, we may,
not.
yeah, you may
I
have not been
missed
in on
that
that. That
one.
was, yeah, that was a miscalculation. It really, then there was one year it was double digits, and that was the last year we did it. But it was a it was a Hawaii trip, yeah.
I was
That was
probably somewhere in the pool, somewhere underwater. But nah, I do. My husband was there though. I tell you what, my husband was there, and I went back to the room, and he was, sprawled out on the bed, and I said, "Baby, you gonna go to the dinner?"
I think we got a little carried away on that last one. I don't know. But and you know what I didn't know? You met my mom quite a
hmm
few times. I
hmm
didn't know till years in that she hadn't flown on a plane until we started going with Avon places. I
Wow.
guess, always thought she had. I don't know. So
Wow. Yeah.
I
That was an
know.
experience, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
she was pretty good. She earned 18 trips total by the
Wow.
end of her tenure. So,
That's awesome.
but
That's
yeah,
so
it's
awesome.
been an amazing thing. Do you have a product line that you like in particular, or a category, I should say, because like mine's jewelry. Do you have one that you like?
I have a couple. I liked I liked all of our hair care. I like the skin care. Um and and makeup, of course. But that would probably be, lower. And the jewelry and sometimes the clothes. I can kind of work everything
You
in.
work all the angles, do you?
I can work whatever and I just now, believe it or not, I just like last week tried that gelled body oil,
Oh
and
yeah.
that Skin So Soft gelled body oil, Mike. I'm
Yeah.
like, what have I been doing? All my customers are always ordering this and I've never tried it. That is some amazing stuff. So I'm
Have
getting
you
into
tried
that.
the new spray one? I like that too.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah,
I did a couple of
it's nice
videos on
too.
layering, and I layered up everything, and then I got to the spray part, and I had just put on the gel, and I said, "Boy, I think I put a little bit too much gel." But the spray is nice. But when I got done with everything had soaked in, and my skin was so pretty, and I said, "Boy, this is some good stuff."
Oh, that's awesome. You of course are in leadership too.
Mhm.
Yes. How when you that first came out, was that something you jumped on or
So yeah, so. I started Avon in 94, and it took me a while. I was working a full-time job, and I was not trying to sell Avon, and I didn't want anyone to even know I sold Avon. Well, because I had gotten fired from every job I had ever been on. So I was being very careful not to get fired again. And then somebody said, "Oh, you sell," and I was in an office with 250 women.
oh,
So yeah, I
oh,
know
be still
it's
my heart,
You
right?
know, so I mean, I wasn't trying. I was not trying. And the book just happened to be on my desk. And a lady walked up and she said, "Oh, you sell Avon?" And I'm like, "Don't tell anybody. Don't, don't tell anybody." And she says, "Girl, everybody here loves Avon." And the next thing you know, I'm walking in the door. I got bags all over myself and selling $2,000 a campaign in the office. So that led into 98 with the first convention, and everything was about leadership at that time. That's all they talked about was leadership. And I said, when I get back from the convention, I'm going to start leadership. So I took a bus. I didn't even take the bus with my own district. Got on a bus with the ladies from Pensacola, Florida, and I talked to them about leadership the entire bus ride to Orlando. And when I got back, I had my first recruit and it was on.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
and you never saw anybody work so hard for a $100 bonus to get five people. I was talking to everybody. Want to do this? Want to do this? Come on, you got to do, talking up a storm to get my little $100. And then I was like, and then my first check was 18. And I said, well, what do you do now? But we, so
but it
everybody's,
bloomed.
it bloomed. And in 2005, I got laid off from that job. And that was a blessing. I didn't get fired, but I got laid off, and then I had the leadership as a backup. So I went right into. I had this open calendar. I'm like, now what do I do? Because I was used to going to work every day, and I started putting because I had leaders. I did have some leaders at that time, and I put everybody on the calendar, and everybody had a day of the week, and we would hang out together, and it was growing. And that was my first time that I saw larger checks. And that was just like, wow, this was that. I just remember that being, I was so amazed at how this bloomed from there and then just grew. But I had the time to work it. And that was 2005. So it's the other baby. And the team is now the team is now about, I don't know, 27, 28 years old now. And
Oh, that's awesome.
it's ebbed and flowed and grown and changed and here we are. We're still they're still my stars. My team is called the Star Team. And
Oh,
and
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 I
it's
don't know how you feel about it, but to me, it's all part of the business. I can't imagine either just doing sales or just doing leadership. To me, it's such a integral part of the whole thing.
it
Do you feel
is.
about that too, or?
It is very integral. It's another part. And things are changing. Well, things have been changing. The world and social media and how people do business, it's all changing. And just recently I got to thinking that it's not the same buy all these books, give out books, take orders from the books. I mean, if that's what people want to do, that's great, but it's just not it's not all like that anymore. And so things have changed. And even though I am primarily traditional, and I have my people, and I do my retirement homes, and that's another one of my babies. And I had to find other ways. I had to find other ways to bring in the social media part. And I said if I was not doing it, how could I expect my team to do it? So I got on the boat with I don't know why they had to do a challenge for me to get on the boat. And then when I started the visibility challenge with Avon, I said, "Well, I've been doing this. I've been already doing this. I just hadn't been doing it consistently." So
Well, no,
that's
and
been
I think
pretty
you're doing
fun.
great. I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you,
you
thank
are.
you.
And matter of fact, before I forget to tell you, I thought of you right away when I was setting up the interviews to do,
Oh
but Tim Brown said, do not forget Angelique Agee. She must be
no,
one of the must. So
Tim is my boy.
yeah, I wish he
He
wouldn't
is.
sell circles around us personally, but
No, Tim is a wonderful inspiration,
because
and he
he's doing the church thing and the eye thing, and still he's doing 5 times more than anything I've ever done.
I just don't even know. I mean, I do a lot of things, and I'm pretty busy, but I'm like counting on my fingers all the things he's doing, and I'm like, how does he do it? And he always looks awake. You see
I
me,
know.
you see me after like a week of a busy week, and I'm like, don't even talk to me. No, but no, Tim, we have such great friends. We have such great friends, and we have wonderful memories. Tim in particular and Lewis, they were very, very close, and have great memories from San Juan. That's
Oh,
all I'm gonna
that's
say.
awesome. Oh, what happens in San
Tim
Juan?
knows. Tim knows.
He's going to listen to this and go, "Whoa."
But he's my buddy. I love him. I love him dearly. He's my buddy.
Oh,
Millie, everybody, the OG crew.
well,
Everybody.
and I wanted to do these interviews because I think this makes me sound old really bad, but I was at a meeting recently where the younger girls were rolling their eyes at the older. And I
Yeah,
thought, I
wow,
just think they're uninformed. They don't understand, like
the history.
Tim, right? Because Tim, when he speaks and we were at this meeting, I'm thinking everybody should stop what they're doing and listen to him since he sells more than the rest of us combined.
Right?
And they weren't really giving him that kind of, I mean, he's Vondell for crying out loud. You know what I
He's
mean? Or
amazing.
however you want to
Yes.
look at it. I was like, mm. And so my thought is if we put ourselves out more and do more of the interviews and share our knowledge, maybe they'll understand that the old ways aren't necessarily irrelevant. You can
They're
do a
not.
combination, yeah, a combination. Because I think it's always going to be a relationship business.
It's always a relationship business. And even if you're not, even if you're somewhere out of town or something, people can still get your card and do
Yeah.
your website and I'm trying to build that side of the business, so I welcome it. But
Tell me more about the retirement home thing because that is almost what you're known for.
um, so my baby, my other baby, I don't know, I have several babies and no, not one child, but um, and I'm so shy. I'm just I had to come out my comfort zone a couple of times in my lifetime here. And that was one of them where I was riding around. I was working a full-time job. I had just accumulated all this inventory. I don't even know how. Well, I know how, but we had this thing way back when called instant delivery. Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
And it was
right.
always assumed that I could sell 50 of everything. Okay. Oh, Angela, you're gonna take 50, right? And I'm like, okay. So yeah, so I had 50 face creams, 50 perfumes, and I would go around to the office cubicle to cubicle and I would sell them all. But I had accumulated all this extra stuff. So I had a trunk full of stuff, and I went into one of the retirement homes that I have one customer in, and I said, I have all this product on hand, and it's Christmas, and could I just set up a table? And and I was so scared. And she said, "Why, sure." She was so sweet. Why, sure. When do you want to do it? And I'm like, wow, that was easy. And I thought it was just gonna be one time. And
And you're
then,
still
then
doing it now,
well,
right?
that and that first day I was blown away because they were buying. I mean, they bought most of what I had, so I had nothing else in my trunk, Um, but that led to like Valentine's and every holiday and then next Christmas, and I didn't even have a table. So it was about 3 years later I got a table. Um, but that led to that lady that let me come there went to another place and she said, "Hey, you want to come over here too?" So I was going there, and I was working a full-time job and I was making deliveries and I had a team and it was kind of wild and crazy, but I enjoyed it. And it was not, I mean, I mean, it's money isn't everything, but you need it. But this was not about the money. This was enjoyable to me to be able to service people right on the spot, things they need and watch their faces light up and all. And then one day, for whatever reason, I couldn't go to one of the locations. And me and my scared little self went to another location and I didn't say anything. I didn't. I had a name tag on now. And she goes, "Oh, Avon. Oh, wow. You want to set up here?" And I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus." Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that led to, that was 25 years ago that all that
So
started.
all
So,
this time, though, you've been consistently doing it because I saw you set up at one just a couple days ago.
well, yeah, last week, my eye is like tearing up. My eye is watering here. Sorry. Just last week I had three in a row, and it usually doesn't happen like that, but I had three back to back to back that first weekend in June or that first week in June, and and so that was three of the five places that I go to right there, bang done. But uh, it's been fun. It's been a journey. I look forward to it, and I like to like dress up and look real cute, and and
You
then
always look cute.
well,
You
thank you, but that's my opportunity to, you know, be. When I first moved to Mobile, they said you're prissy. Like, well, this is my opportunity to be prissy.
You're busy. Oh, I like that though. I like that about you. And you're not like, unless I'm wrong about this, a couple of my team members who shall remain nameless, they take like 6 bags on the trip. And I'm like,
Okay, so
oh, you do too.
I might be like that. Not quite though, but I usually have clothes left over that I have not worn on a trip because I think I need a lot of clothes. And then Lewis was like 10 times worse than me, so we would have a huge suitcase and two carry-ons, and he'd have a backpack and I'd have another bag, and yeah.
Oh, I am sorry I didn't know that all along. I could have been making fun of you this entire
No,
time.
I'm not a light. And then like my sweet Joanne Potts. She always packs very light, and I'm like I can't do it, Joanne.
Oh, well, we're getting down to time already, if you can believe
What?
it. Went
What?
quick.
No.
So now a lot of representatives that already know you're going to see this, obviously, for sure. But there's going to be some new people too. I was wondering if you had some closing bit of advice to someone who's either relaunching or starting new, something you could tell them to keep them going.
I would like to tell them to, well, keep going, but I would tell them to hang in there and try some different things and maybe find an outlet. Find an organization, a church you belong to, somewhere where you can have a small group that loves the product, or do some sort of testers or samples or demonstration or something. Um, or if you're trying to go into the social scene, it's I kind of used to probably did it wrong back in the day, but I used to just think it was all about Avon, 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 and and I don't know that that's how it is. So I said, everybody knows me through Avon, but nobody really knows the other side. There's a whole there's a lot. I'm pretty adventurous. I got a lot going on, and I'm like no filter. They always kind of give me, they always give me like a little script where they would give me a script when I would do things on stage because they know I'd be all over the place. But um, so I would just say to be consistent. So try some different things, be consistent at whatever you're trying. Don't give up. Get some car signs. do your do your
And
or do
and
some kind of.
don't be afraid to ask, because boy, that
Don't be
turned out
afraid.
really well.
And I was so terrified. Yes. And so I pushed out of the comfort zone. And I also pushed out of the comfort zone like during COVID and did texts to people and now it's big. It's still very big. My business is still knock on some wood here. It's still very good. I'm so grateful.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you. Thank you
I'm
for the
gonna,
opportunity.
oh, I appreciate you sharing your wisdom with everybody, because I really think all of us who are the OGs now, the young girls need to hear from us. So,
They need to
and
see the
guys, the young girls
history.
and guys need to hear from us. So, I
Right.
thank you so much. Stay right there a second. I'm just going to stop the recording if it's okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.